Well, I have my backgrounds back. Welcome back to Ecocentric Homestead. I located the materials to complete my office and my incubator. So today I'll give you a view now of the grow room office area and of the new changes to the incubator. And we'll be starting a new test hatching out chicken eggs today. So here we are. I come into the office. That door, I think I'm going to just buy a sheet of plywood, birch 1/8" plywood, and remove that loose stuff and glue the thin plywood over it. That'll be good for that door. I got 2 shelves with 4-foot lighting. This is the LED light strips. That's the fluorescent fixture I had all along. And on rough garbage pickup, a guy had this one thrown out. The wire was cut off, so I had to redo the wire, and I wired them both together into one plug. I found a piece of pipe in the woods. I cut one side out of it, and I formed out some Teflon pieces, hot glued them in. But before I hot glued them in, of course, with hot water and steel wool, I scrubbed down this pipe. This was the plywood I had for my previous setup for a grow light. Here I made a wooden trough, and I've lined it with some aluminum foil that was on another piece of styrofoam, industrial styrofoam, that I've used in my shed, but I didn't need this aluminum on it, so I had taken that off. Then I formed that in there and once again hot glued the seams. Then over on this side I have 2 shelves, pretty much a repeat of what's over on the far side, but I don't have lights set up on these yet. This is my heating mat for when I'm germinating seeds that require extra heat to germinate. Down there I've got some seeds starting in the dark. I still have my lighting I did with the 4 light bulbs, but right now I have, as you can see, I have a space up here, plenty, and I have another 4 by 2 feet down here. My shelf, I moved that back up to the sunroom. It wasn't working here. It was kind of awkward to deal with the plants, and the shelves were too close together. The way I have it set up now, so I can sit on my office chair and roll right over to this, and see, I have the 2 lines from a hook on either side tied together, so when I pull on one, they both pull. I can raise and lower the lights. I have the same thing done to the other end. And there's plenty of room for me to get in here at these. And of course, if I needed more, I can raise the light way up to here. Whether it be to give them fertilizer or to get rid of aphids. I'm doing pretty good actually clearing out the aphids. What I normally do here, see, I can take a plant up entirely here, it's small plants, and inspect them, and any aphids I find, blow them right off or brush them off right onto the floor. This pepper, I never got all the aphids off it this morning. By the looks of that. So it's nice and comfortable here now to inspect the plants and take care of them. Remember the St. John's wort that just wasn't growing and wasn't growing? He decided to grow. And he's even put out the extra 2 shoots. I did manage up here on the top shelf. Here's another one growing, and one here. And these 2 down here are St. John's wort. And as we're with the other ones, they're just scrawny little things, and it's like, are they ever going to grow? So it's just a waiting game for these guys. I have flower seeds started. Honeydews. Several more pumpkin plants. I'm not sure how well this one is working. I previously had paper from ceiling to floor all over this wall, and I removed it. I bought flat blue paint for my background so that I can make it transparent and put on that changing background when I'm recording videos. Here, now I have a window. It opens. If I want, I can plant greens or something outside here and be able to reach out through the window and harvest it. There's the west cold frame. You can't see it from there. The east cold frame is just over right there. But now that I have this done, I'm thinking I'll take my 4 solar panels and I'll put up along the wall right there, and I'll run a wire in. I have a new deep cycle battery and an inverter, and I'll run these lights off of solar power as much as I can, because if the battery runs out, it's just a matter of taking my timer, unplugging it from the inverter and plugging it into the wall outlet. So that's great. Back to these plants. Those with the biggest leaves in there, they're all eggplants. I have Ping Tung Long and diamond eggplants. There is cucumber right there, and there's a few other cucumbers in there. These are sunflowers. So after I'm done with this video, I'm going to separate these out, put them in the red cups, put them on the top shelf, and when I know they're actually surviving, then I can bring them up to the sunroom or outside depending on the weather. my incubator. I was down on the beach and I found some styrofoam. I took it home and I cut it up. As you know, the braces that I have for these shelves, I already had them made. I had several. So there's 4 here, 4 over on the other side. I had 2 more. And I shortened up the part coming out. And I put them here to put the incubator on, because I said, well, I'm going to take my time and I'll make it nice and comfortable for myself. You see, it's sitting on a fairly thick piece of styrofoam. And this is the thickness I cut the styrofoam to put around the sides. And then mounted it into the framing of the box with some thin strips of wood and screws. I took the cardboard off here and put on some thin plywood that I had. Now I can open the box up. And comfortably stand here and turn the eggs. Here's the wire coming in. And what I did this time, I took a single piece of wire and I attached it to the thermostat, the black wire to one contact and the white wire to the other contact. Then I mounted the thermostat down here, facing to the outside side of the box. Nice and sturdy, as you can see. The wire runs up, and the white wire connected to the white wire on this plug-in. The black wire goes to the one contact on the light socket, and the green wire from the plug-in wire goes to the other contact. On the outside, I have a hole drilled. Then you look in there, and that's where you adjust the thermostat. Now, I've had this running for a full day now. Just stuff the hole with a piece of cushion foam. There's the probe for the thermometer, sitting actually quite a ways over from the light. And there's the receiver. It dropped down quite a bit now because I just had the door open. But it was above 36 because it cut in and it wasn't very long, and it was up to 37 again. I don't know what this is reading like. Does it have to get exactly to 30 before it says 30? 29.7 might read 29, or it might have to be down to 29.5 before it reads 29. That I don't know. So at least at 36 it was cutting in, and this one here is the alarm, so 42 degrees Celsius. If it gets up to 42 degrees Celsius, this thing will alarm. It doesn't alarm, so it doesn't go to 42 and it doesn't go below 36. So the temperature is doing well. You can see I have a gap, and that may be because of the pieces where I've got the light hanging on the edge. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is drape a blanket over this. Not that I need to. It was working fine without the blanket, but less heat escaping means I'm burning less electricity, and that heat lamp is on less, which makes it safer. I hear that heat lamps can overheat if you got them running too long. So there it is. The eggs that I get today and tomorrow, I'll put them in there, and then we'll see what happens. I think this time we might be successful. And I have a question for you. This where the other shelf was. Since I've got my pieces used up now that I had hastily put together, I plan on making a nice shelving unit for here, and it'll be probably a storage for the most part, but a nice woodworking job nonetheless. Should I record it and do a build video for the shelf that I'm going to put there? Leave your comment in the comment section below. And as always, you know the drill. If you have opinions or comments on the video, please leave them in the comment section below. I welcome all comments, and I hope you enjoy this view of my current office grow room and the incubator that we are about to do our second try for hatching out hen's eggs. I'll see you in the next video.